back. Big news of the week.
Finally,
he got stranded.
and even with old Sam's fake tan, I still.
Well, I think I'm ahead of you. He's just been around the Caribbean, motoring around on a big yacht, haven't you? Boat, and then
Shit.
got delayed by 2 days, and then expected everybody to feel sorry for him. So how's that working out for you?
Not great.
No. Anyway, so in his absence, obviously I've been running Ashdown Jones completely single-handedly and very, very well. In fact, we're going to rename it Ashdown's Estate Agents.
Right, what we're talking about today is decluttering. It's something we get asked about regularly. It's either we go to a house with hardly anything in and people say, our house is cluttered when it's not at all, or the complete opposite. We go to a home where there's things everywhere and they think that it's probably ready to sell.
So I went to see a house yesterday from a lovely friend of mine who will be nameless, but who kept saying to me, Sam, we know we need to declutter. We know we've got clutter everywhere. We know every surface has got clutter on it. And I said, yeah, but you didn't buy clutter, did you? You didn't go into a clutter shop and say, can I have some clutter, please? You've bought beautiful things for your house.
My wife
and
does.
you've put them in appropriate places, and every surface has got more and more beautiful with more and more of the things you put on there. But there comes a point, and on this occasion it was after 10 years, where there was so many things on all the surfaces, you can't really see the beauty of the house. And unfortunately, when a buyer comes into the room, what are they going to look at? They're not going to look at the room, are they?
No. So we have a simple rule for surfaces in a home. So what you would class as a large service, so a
Shelf or a console table?
Yeah, in the living room, we'd suggest 3 or 5 things on there, depending on the size of it. If
Yeah.
it's a medium size, 3 things maximum, and some of you will probably looking at your tables now thinking, I've got 3,000. And a small table, just 1 thing. So 1, 3 and 5
Yeah, it's a nice simple rule.
always looks the best.
So I don't know how much you can see this, but if you look at any of our photographs on Ashdown Jones, I'd go on Rightmove actually, because our site isn't working that well at the moment.
But a brand new site's coming soon.
Brand new site is coming very, very soon. So this is the beautiful Wicklow barn, and you can see, if you can see, some of the rooms that we've styled, especially for the photography, and also hopefully for the viewing, that would stay like this. And I did actually have one open. Ready, there you go. So there's just 2 things there on that surface. Either that's 2 things which I can't quite see, or there's another thing here which you can't see as well. But it's a very simple surface. So what you notice there is you're going to look at the view and not the items that are on it. You want people to look past the items that are on a surface to the thing that they should be looking at, which is usually a view out of a window or a fireplace or some feature of the house. Those are the main 3 things you really want to draw attention to. And as soon as you start putting lots and lots of stuff, we're not going to call it clutter, on surfaces, then people look at the stuff and not the surface. I also explained to her as well yesterday that obviously bigger houses are worth more than smaller houses, on average. And therefore, if you make your house look bigger by having lots more floor space on view, or lots more surface space, if you're talking about like kitchens or bathrooms on view, then your room looks bigger and people will pay more for a bigger house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you may think that this is unnecessary. If someone sees a house, they like it, they put an offer in.
It's simple past it all,
It's simple as that. I would say 95% of people can't see past it, and if you don't quite believe what we're saying, results are king, and we've sold homes in the past that have been on the market for a while. We've been there, decluttered and staged them slightly differently and managed to sell them.
And people have said they look like completely different houses. They didn't even recognise the house. And it can be as simple as the front door had too many things by it, or people who like maybe garden ornaments a little bit too much, or just things that are distracting, because buyers are lazy, and if they've got 15 houses to go and see, sorry buyers,
not all buyers,
some buyers are a little bit lazy, but if you've got lots of houses to go and see and one house looks like a show home and the other 14 are cluttered, you're going to be naturally drawn to the show home. It's easy for you to establish what is in that house. It's easy for you to see it as a future purchase, and actually you probably think that you want a non-cluttered, minimalistic, simple kind of style, elegant style in your house. You probably don't think you're going to bring all your clutter with you.
Yeah, there is a reason why show homes are styled in the way they're styled, have the certain items in certain places, and have the majority of the floor space clear. It's to sell the homes as quickly and for as much as possible.
So I was reading a book recently which is unusual for me, on minimalism, and there was a stat in there that said the average American home contains 300,000 items. 300,000 items. I would say the average show home probably contains less than 300. So that gives you an idea. And that's it for this week's Ask AJ. If you've got a question you'd like us to cover on a future episode of Ask AJ, we'd be delighted to hear from you. We have covered some very interesting questions recently, and we'll continue to do so as long as you keep sending your questions in. So we'll see you next Wednesday on another episode of Ask AJ.
Where new starter Maria will make her debut.
New starter Maria will be making her debut. We tried to throw it at her today, but she wasn't having any of it. So she's going to come on next week and join us on the sofa for another episode. So till then, bye for now.